Forfeit the Vetter Cup. Padres swept at home by the Mariners, and now they're off to Toronto to begin a road trip. 3 runs all weekend long by San Diego, just 1 run per game in the series. Kind of a just lifeless 3 games for San Diego. We'll talk about it over the next hour. John and Jim with you. Please subscribe as you make your way in. Smash the like button for us. Follow us on X at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. Thank you for the super chats. I already see one that rolled in from the Beef. Very generous. We'll get to it momentarily, the Beef, and we'll get to all of your super chats here tonight. If you want to control the direction of the conversation, click the $ below the chat box. We appreciate your support of the channel. If you want to become a member, you can click the join button down below. Padres led Jim on Saturday and Sunday on solo home runs, 1-0. That was all of their offense. Jackson Merrill has struggled over the last 4 or 5 games. The Padres just completely listless on offense in a sweep at the hands of the Mariners at home.
Yeah, it was an awful series in a really bad homestand. Especially this series. Now you did win a series against the Angels. That's great. Then you follow that up with just some really lifeless games. You went, not you, but like they went 0 for 21 with runners in scoring position this weekend.
Yep.
Either they're trying too hard because it's the Vetter Cup, or they just all collectively went into a slump with runners in scoring position. I mean, it just, this entire weekend was really bad. Manny Machado, I believe, went 0 for in the series.
Was he 0 for in the series? And he also failed to come through in a couple of big spots, including bases loaded, 1 out last night in a 1-1 game.
We'll talk about Manny Machado and what he has done late games this year in a bit, but yeah, Manny, awful series. Jackson Merrill, look, it's beyond me now. I'm not taking the blame anymore for this. Like, Jackson Merrill is in his first real slump of the season. It feels like he is trying too hard. Do you get the sense? I mean, this guy like just wants to come through so bad, but for whatever reason, he's chasing a lot. He's striking out a lot. He is making hard contact, and he's getting a little bit unlucky, but at the same time, he does not look like the calm, cool, collected guy at the plate that he was, for that week when he got back, when he was hitting like 500. But all in all, just a really fucking awful series for these guys. And thankfully there's an off day tomorrow for them to regroup. And usually after off days, they seem to do good. But just looking at this series, like, that was pathetic.
Yeah, I mean, the last sky is falling series was that home sweep at the hands of the Rays, and they responded in a huge way after that, if you remember, because everyone here went off the deep end, and then they rattled off like 5 consecutive wins or something along that. This team, is probably better than that Rays team, this Mariners team. But despite the fact of whether Seattle is good or not, it's just not a good performance by San Diego. It's not about San Diego. It's not about Seattle being good or not. It's about the way the Padres played. I mean, like you said, 0 for 21 with men in scoring position. Manny Machado and Jackson Merrill combining to go 1 for 24 in the series. Mm-hmm. It was just, I don't even know how you really excuse it away. It's 1 series over the course of a year, and they hopefully respond on the road. I mean, obviously, to your point, 2-4 homestand is not good enough against the Angels and the Mariners. They got to be going 4-2 in those homestands. And, I mean, they just didn't have any opportunities. I mean, a leadoff home run from Fernando Tatis Jr., that's your only run. And Brian Wu looked like Cy Young. He went 7 innings through like 70 pitches in those 7 innings. Michael King wasn't good. Nick Pivetta yesterday was good, but Morohono has that home run in the 7th inning in a 1-1 game. It's just everything that could go wrong did go wrong for the Padres this weekend. And you hope it's just a one-off series as opposed to anything more, because they're healthy. We'll talk about Yu Darvish coming up, but they're healthy. They just aren't hitting the ball. And this lack of power continues to be a trend. Yes, 2 home runs the last 2 days, Sheets and Tatis, but
they're meaningless.
I mean, this team, especially in left field, they have the lowest OPS among left fielders in baseball. That's not surprising. They've hit 2 home runs out of left fielders this year. They put Gavin Sheets in left. He has defensive misplays because he's not a left fielder. That cost him at least a run today. So you got a glaring hole in left field that's becoming more evident by the day.
that we knew about. I mean, this is not rocket science here. This is, hey, are we the worst, one of the worst teams in baseball as far as offensive production goes from our left fielder? Yeah, okay, let's try something here and let's go out and get a left fielder. You know, don't put Gavin Sheets in left field.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? He's a DH and occasionally plays some first base,
Yep.
but don't put him in left. Like, stop
Agreed.
it. It's just ridiculous. Like, move on from Hayward. There's no point in having it on this team anymore. Go out and trade for Taylor Ward, the guy that I've been talking about from the Angels. Like, go do something. But right now, like, the holes in left and at catcher offensively, I mean, I'm not going to say weighing the team down, but obviously when the team isn't hitting and doing well, like, they stand out more. And even when they are hitting, they still stand out because they do nothing anyway. Like, those two spots, especially left field, more so left field than catcher, because at least you've gotten something offensively from your catcher's position. But left field is the glaring hole with this team that we talked about all offseason, and they never addressed it.
Yeah, I agree with that. So I have it in front of me here. Padres left fielders entering Sunday were last in the majors in on-base plus slugging, and it's embarrassingly bad. 483.
Oh, God.
They're last in the major leagues in WRC plus. So they put Sheets out there because he's been like their second best slugger, arguably. He's hit 6 home runs this year. But again, it's like you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, and he gets turned around in a ball, and it costs Michael King at least a run, if not 2, in that 4th inning after the Arozarena home run. And they've hit 2 home runs from their left fielders. Those are both from Jason Hayward this year. Now, they haven't hit any home runs at third base either. Manny Machado has 3. Yeah. They haven't hit any home runs. That's basically the point. They have Fernando Tatis Jr. They have Jackson Merrill, who's been hurt. They have Gavin Sheets, who's been like a revelation, I guess, offensively to some extent. They kind of just stumbled into that. They just are really lacking power, and they could use that upgrade sooner rather than later. I don't know if it's going to come, Jim, or not in May, but I would think at some point in June or July, they're going to need some type of upgrade in left field. They definitely will.
It's not even a question. Like, either you go out and get a left fielder, or you're going to pay the consequences of whatever the hell you're trying to do in left right now. Yep. They've gotten away with it to this point. They really have. But it's going to continue to look worse and worse by the day. And as you said, the numbers there, like, it's it is awful. And the fact that they did nothing in the offseason to address it. Nothing. We were screaming about that. And everyone's like, it's fine. It's like, dude, they did nothing. Not even a trade, nothing. They decided to sign Jason Hayward. Now, again, they are hamstrung with money. I get it, but, like, you can't go out and be more creative than Jason Hayward.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to last, obviously. I mean, he won't be here at the trade deadline. I don't know if he'll be here in June. The other experiment even is a bad one. I mean, like, you're not going to play Brandon Lockridge there every day. You're not going to play Gavin Sheets there every day. The issue today became because you get Machado off his feet. So now you want to – the whole thing, they're moving people around. You get Machado off his feet. You want Sheets' bat in the lineup, but he can't DH, so he's got to play in the field. You're getting too cute. And nothing worked this weekend. I mean, literally nothing worked against Seattle. 3 runs in 3 games is anemic, especially in front of those crowds. Yep. The Beef, thank you, man, for the first super of the night. Guys, if you are here, subscribe. You're on content for you. And thank you for the super chats. Click the $ below the chat box. He got us started before the show started. He says our exit velocity is improving. Not that bad of a series, LOL, just kidding. One of the most pathetic home series in a while. It actually wasn't if you watch the Tampa series, and that was only 2 weeks ago. The holes in the lineup are showing. Let's have a good road trip and get back on track. I mean, they're fully capable of doing that. They've still been good at home, although they've come back to earth, certainly, over the last 10 or 12 home games. And, EV, slug, power, whatever you want to say, clutch hitting, because they had some hits in this series, Jim. I mean, they did. They just squandered opportunities. Over 21 at-bats with men in scoring position isn't nothing. in 3 games, but going 0 for 21, like that's doing work. That's hard to do, to go 0 for 21 in consecutive ABs with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, for whatever reason, they just looked like, I know we joke like, oh, the Vetter Cup, they're trying too hard, but it did really look like they were pressing, right? Like it just did not seem like they were putting together any good at bats with runners in scoring position. Like nobody. So yeah, like they started 14-3, and since then they've gone 13-15. Like, it's not the worst thing in the world. And we knew, like, okay, we even said it. Hey, if you just played 500 baseball for majority of the rest of the season, you're gonna be in good shape. And then you have another like 7-game winning streak. Like, boom, there you go. Right? There's 90 plus wins. So it's they were 50-50, I want to say, last year at one point, 50-50, and they finished with 93 wins. So, the saying in baseball is for good teams, not for like the Rockies or the White Sox, but for good teams lose 60 and win 60 games most of the time. The outliers, the 100-win teams, right? But majority of teams win 60 games and they lose 60 games. It's what you do in the other 42 that decide your fate. I did the math right, right?
That's 100% right. I mean, that's spot on. I would say this too. It feels to me, and we'll see what this is worth or not, it feels to me like the schedule is stiffening. Like you've had some opportunities maybe to create more separation from 500. They're 9 games over, but like you're going to be in Atlanta next weekend. Yeah, easy homestand arguably with the Marlins and the Pirates. We'll see how they play. But then that real stretch where you're in San Francisco, you're in Milwaukee, you're home for the Dodgers, you're at the Diamondbacks, you're at the Dodgers. That's consecutive series. San Francisco, Milwaukee on the road, Dodgers at home, Diamondbacks, Dodgers on the road. That is 14 of 17 on the road, with the 14 road games being San Francisco, Milwaukee, Arizona, and LA, with the 3 home games being the Dodgers. So like you can't afford to get closer to 500 before that stretch. Like they're 9 games over right now. You got to be able to maintain 10 plus games over 500 before those 17 games. That's a tough stretch where you could very easily go something like 7-10 in that stretch, even worse, or 8-9 or something like that in that stretch. So you're right. They got off to a great start. They've certainly come back to earth. The question is, can they maintain their status of being something like 10 games over 500 once they get out of June? Because June is going to be a real challenge for this team, just based on that sheer schedule that they have coming up.
No, you're absolutely right. The schedule that you just mentioned there, it's not an easy one, and Atlanta's playing much better. Like, oh, they're over 500, I think, now, or they are 500. I don't.
Okay,
but I remember I saw yesterday, like they finally got over 500. Like, shocker, a good baseball team figures it out, and the first 7 games of the year, like, Giants, Dodgers, Arizona, Dodgers again, Kansas City, Washington's kind of pesky. Like you're gonna play some good teams, and so far this year, I feel like this Padres team is either red hot or ice cold, and it's like you don't really get the in between from them. Like it kind of just like it almost snowballs, right? Now, couple exceptions. The Angels series this past week, that was more of a bullpen issue on Monday night. They scored 5 runs and they lost, but like they should have won that game, So let's just chalk that up like as that was a bullpen issue. That was a Robert Suarez individual issue. Wasn't a lineup, problem. Scoring 5 runs is scoring 5 runs. And more often than not, you should win that game. But like when they go into droughts, man, they really go into droughts. Now, they have shown that they turn it on very quickly. That 3-8 stretch where they lost 2 of 3 in Detroit. They got shut out in that game, on one of those games. They got their shit kicked in against the Tampa Bay Rays at home. That was a bad stretch. losing 2 or 3 in Houston, that was bad. And then they had the off day, and then they immediately won 5 in a row.
Straight.
Or six in a row.
Yep.
So they are like hot and cold. And when they're hot, they're hot. When they're cold, they suck.
Yeah, I mean, if there's some grass greener or good news, Toronto is typically seen as a haven for hitters. You're playing inside. You're not dealing with elements. You're off the off day, to your point. So hopefully they bounce back in Toronto. But I think it's a sneaky road trip. Toronto and Atlanta is a sneaky, challenging road trip, I would say, for the Padres coming up. I'm very curious to see how they play. JD's third, thank you, man, for the super. Guys, if you're here, subscribe. And if you're here, thank you for the supers. Click the $sign below the chat box. He says, can we still win the Vetter Cup? Yes. I hope so, LFGSD. They would have to sweep Seattle in August. They'd have to outscore the Mariners by 13 runs. If they outscored them by 12 runs, they'd have to overcome that Rowdy Tellez EV that is atop the leaderboard right now in the season series between the Mariners and the Padres. Did you know that?
Is that the high water mark for exit velocity?
111.7. And by the way, the reason it's EV per Jeff Sanders, because we heard, hey, there was someone in the stats department or the media department from Seattle. According to Jeff Sanders in his article in the UT, it's EV because of Eddie Vedder. It's not going to matter. They're not going to tie this series at 3, and they're not going to have the exact same run differential, right? I mean, the odds of that are 1 in 12,000 right now.
Yeah, I think the person that is the most upset about the outcomes of these games this weekend has to be Eric Grupner. You knew he wanted so badly to be on the field and to receive the Vetter Cup trophy.
Right.
Maybe
not this year, dude.
Not this year. I mean, nothing is better than the chief marketing officer just hey, look at me, everybody.
Do you know what the Mariners' record is against the Padres since 2022?
Very good, I'm assuming.
12-3. It's a higher winning percentage, obviously, I think it's the highest winning percentage of any team against the Padres since 2022. They've won 80% of their games against the Padres since 2022. 12-3.
So that tells me this.
Don't schedule a Vetter Cup with them.
Yeah, that too. But if the Padres somehow made the World Series and they were playing the Mariners, that would be a problem.
I don't know if the Mariners and Padres are the World Series in the same year, dude. Holy shit.
Oh my. That means the world's going to end the next day before game
I'll take it because the Padres are in the World Series, but you're right. I guess it won't be an easy matchup in that theory. Vector 53, thanks, man. He says, worst offensive series this year, got to bounce back. No, the Tampa series was just as bad, wasn't it?
Tampa series, John. This is what they did. They got shut out. They scored 1 run. They scored 2 runs. So it's the same.
Same thing. I
would argue the Tampa series was worse because they had a shutout in there. And they lost 1-0.
So many opportunities in that Tampa. They lost a game 1-0 at home. You should not lose any game 1-0 at home. If you're
not when you're a good team like this.
Exactly. In front of 45,000 people, you're losing 1-0 at home. So they've had a couple of bad offensive series, and this is what we're talking about. I mean, you have the pieces. Let's be honest. Toddy, 12 home runs. Merrill, it's certainly cooled off, but it's Jackson Merrill, hopefully. Luis Ariz had 3 hits, I think, on Saturday. I think he had 5 hits in the series. But actually, it was Bogarts who had 3 hits on Saturday. It was Ariz who had 3 hits on Friday. So you have Machado. We need to talk about Manny because, he's hit at a high clip, even with this over series. He's still hitting whatever he's hitting. And we can discuss, but, man, we're starting to get right back where we always are. We're starting to do the math. You've hit 3 home runs in a third of the season. It's not yet a third of the season, but you've hit 3 home runs in 45-ish games. Are you really going to get to 30 this year, Manny? And I'm sure he will, but I'm sure people are asking that question beyond myself right now.
All right. So I got some stats here for you. Okay.
Wow.
I'm looking at his Baseball Savant page. Very good. Yep. Very good. But there are some things here that stand out to me.
Okay, let me hear it.
Number 1, his barrel percentage rate. All right. 65th percentile.
65th percentile in baseball, his barrel percentage this year.
Correct.
Okay. So 15% above the mean, right? Because 90% is really good. He's at 65, so he's above 50.
He's above 50.
He's above 50, but you're saying 35% of the league has a better barrel percentage than Manny Machado.
Correct. And I think that plays into the reason why he only has 3 home runs.
I agree with that.
Second one, which is interesting. All right.
Mm-hmm.
You look at all his numbers, like, early in the game and third inning, fourth, they're all good.
Mm-hmm.
They're all good.
Were you going to tell me clutch?
Yeah. Then you get to the late/close game statistics, right? And it just stands out like a sore thumb. In late game, close game opportunities, he's had 24 plate appearances. He has 3 hits.
Okay, so that's don't tell me that's 125.
Well, now he has 4 walks in that span, so he's hitting 150 in late game and close game situations. And if you break it down here, right, I would say 7th, 8th, and 9th is late in the game, obviously. Mm-hmm. 7th inning, when he's had opportunities, he's hitting 200. 8th inning, 231. 9th inning, only 6 at bats, but he's hitting 167. So he's 1 for 6 in 9th innings. Mm-hmm. And while all the other stuff looks great, like, his batting average is really good still. His OPS is, still decent. It's not great, but it's decent. 827 or 846? Yeah.
846.
Not bad, right? But other than the game in Pittsburgh when he hit that home run in the 7th inning to tie it up, when has he had those moments this year? When is he, put the team on his back, yo? Like what I just, and by the way, one more number for you. So you might be thinking, oh, Manny had a shitty start to last year. Yeah, he did have a shitty start. At this exact time last year, he had 5 home runs and 23 RBIs. Right now, he's got 3 home runs and 20 RBIs? 3 home runs and 20 RBIs.
But of course, he wasn't getting on base at near this clip.
No. He was hitting 217 last year with a 611 OPS. So it was much worse. Way worse.
Here's what I would say. Here's what I would say. What you're saying is completely fair. I'm not going to fight it at all. It's completely fair. But again, he's hitting 317.
I know.
His expected on base average or expected batting average is the tops in baseball. His expected slug. So let's talk about power for a second. His expected slug, because you're looking at the same thing I am, is in the 90th percentile. Mm-hmm. Now he's only hit 3 home runs. That's fair. His expected average EV or his average EV is in the 93rd percentile. Mm-hmm. Guy hasn't lost. I don't think he's lost anything other than the fact that when you look at the home run column, he's hit 3 of them. That's an accurate statement that is factual. Your clutch points are valid. If he hasn't come through in the clutch, he hasn't come through in the clutch. That's a factual statement as well. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to trust in this expected batting average, expected slug, average EV, hard hit percentage is 95th percentile in baseball this year. So I think he's capable of putting together a better year than last year. I know his second half was awesome. His second half was unbelievable. We've referenced it here before. I'm with you. I'd like to see him come through more in the clutch, but I'm going to just trust in Manny to have a better year. I don't know if it means more home runs. I really don't, but I'm looking at that slug and I'm looking at that hard hit percentage, and I'm seeing a player that hopefully is even better than last year.
And by the way, if anybody out there would scoff at as Manny goes, the team goes narrative.
0 for 12.
Perfect example is this weekend. Like, perfect example. I bet you if I go back and look at that Tampa Bay series, which was equally as awful, I would bet you, John, that he had an awful series that weekend as well, too.
He might have been 0 for. That's when Arise and Merrill may have been out.
You know what? I'm going to do that right now. So that 1-0 game, John. All right, he was 1 for 4 with a strikeout. All right. Let's see, where is it? 1 for 4 with a strikeout. Game 2, they lost 4-1, John. 1 for 4.
2 for 11 in that series, because I remember you saying that and being like, he's got to be better. I'm pretty sure. And he was robbed of a home run in that series as well, if people remember. He was 2 for 11. I'm almost positive.
He was 2 for 11 with 1 RBI. So it's
Yeah.
not rocket science. When Manny goes, the team goes. It is just how this thing works here.
You're right. It's not rocket science, and I'll take my chances if that is the case with a guy that's hit 317. If it is as he goes, they go. Hopefully, they'll be good because he's been good enough. Again, has he been perfect? No. Has he come through in the clutch? No. Has he homered? No, by and large. But
right,
I agree with you. I mean, when he goes over 12, it's tough to win, and that was.
And then just also
weekend.
another thing to back that theory as well is just like look at last year up into the Phillies series. He was awful. The team was average as hell. After that, he took off on a rocket ship. Guess what happened? They had the best second half in the best 3-month stretch in franchise history.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, he's a critical piece. I mean, that's inarguable. And he should be based on what they're paying him. The Slick Rick 074, thank you, man, for the super, guys. If you are here, subscribe. And if you are here, thank you for the supers. Click the $sign below the chat box. He says, being swept at home sucks, but how are we feeling with the Dodgers being swept, keeping us close still? Yeah, again, it's we get so hyper-focused with one individual team and the series that the Padres are playing. And it is true. There's other results happening. I'm sure the Braves fans for the first month of the season thought, what the hell is going on? Or look at Baltimore, or even the Dodgers getting swept at home by the Angels. Now they're a game better than San Diego. The Giants won their last 3, so the Giants have pulled even with the Padres. I still think it's early. I'll look at it maybe Memorial Day and see where it's at and just kind of glance at it. But the Padres are fine from a division perspective, just like the Dodgers are fine and just like the Giants are fine. There's way too much baseball in front of these teams. But yeah, Padres were swept. They're not the only team in baseball that were swept this weekend, and that includes the LA Dodgers to the lowly Angels.
Dude, it's going to be a dogfight.
Could be. I hope it is.
I just, I'm looking at this division and I'm looking at the National League. There might be 3 teams that are really good that are left out of the postseason. Maybe
in the
2.
National League.
Yeah. So maybe 2. There's gonna be 2.
I don't think St. Louis will hold together to you. And
no,
I think in the NL East, I mean, are the Phillies, Braves, and Mets all going to be vying all year? Maybe.
Yes, I do. I think Atlanta is going to. They're going to get healthier. They're going to get Acuna back.
Will all 4 in the West contend?
Yes.
All 4?
Yes. I think so.
Yeah, we'll see about Arizona. What are they, 2 games over 500?
Right, 25 and 22, right where you need to be.
Yeah, they're right where they need to be, but it's a long year. I mean, there are going to be stretches from one of those 4 teams where they look really bad. Mm-hmm. Because when you're playing Dodgers, Padres, Dodgers, or Giants, Dodgers, Giants, you know what I mean? It's going to get hairy in there for teams. They're going to have to overcome that. There's no way it's going to be a straight line for those 4 teams because they're all playing each other. Yeah. And if the Padres sweep the Dodgers, then the Dodgers, you know what I mean? And vice versa. It's just going to be, I don't know. I think there's going to be some adversity in there in the West.
And by the way, we talked about this a couple weeks ago before that Rockies series, and it was how many runs they've scored this year. Now that 21-0 game is going to really skew things here. You just don't get those games ever in baseball. So they scored 199 runs as a team. Say on Saturday it was a normal game and they won 9-0 instead. All right. They are still a team in baseball, and especially the National League, that would have now if say the game was 9-0 instead of 21-0. Still, teams they're down with the Marlins and the Pirates this year. Now, the Pirates are awful, but still, they would be one of the worst teams in the National League as far as total runs scored.
Yeah, and even with that game, I mean, they're still under 200 runs scored, like you said, which puts them, clearly in the bottom third of baseball. Bottom third really of the National League, honestly, because there's some American League teams that haven't scored. A lot of American League teams that haven't scored 200 runs for whatever reason.
Toronto's given up 207 runs this year. In comparison, the Padres have given up 161.
Right. Right. Let's get back to this conversation in a second. We appreciate those supers. We see them. We'll get to them momentarily. And again, if you're here, please subscribe. Do want to thank our telesponsor, Mark Nimitz, who has not been thrilled this weekend with the results down at Petco Park, because we've been communicating and texting with them. But if you have an insurance need, you'll be thrilled with Mark, because he can help you out. He can hook you up. And if you ever need him, he's going to be there for you. You can trust us on that. I've had Mark as my primary insurance agent for 4 years, whether it's homeowners or life or earthquake insurance policies. And we had to file a claim a couple of years ago. He saved us truly thousands of dollars and so much time, hours and hours and hours of time. So if you have an insurance need, click the link in the description down below. You're getting free quotes online, or call Mark. He'll talk to you about the Padres, and he will talk to you about saving money on your insurance. So before you renew your current insurance, get in contact with Mark. He's a great insurance agent with great service and communication. That's really what separates him from the rest. So auto, home, renter's life, whatever it is, click that link in the description down below. If you support this channel, please support Mark Nimitz, our title sponsor.
Yep. All his information's on that ticker below, mnimitz@farmersagent.com. When you reach out to Mark, let him know that John and Jim from the Wrap Up Show sent you.
Appreciate you, Mark, and appreciate you guys. Again, if you have an insurance need, get in contact with Mark Nimitz by clicking the link in the description down below. Padre Phil, very generous. I have read this, so we can react to it again. He says, time to get honest. You guys love to talk about Manny's average, but not what baseball is today, a power game. Now, Manny has 3, tied for 169th in baseball. Laughable. You can't summarize Manny's year solely on one statistical category. I do not think that's right. I think it's completely fair to be critical and say he needs to hit for more power than he has. But to say that anything about Manny's year is laughable, to me, is going too far, because I've watched him and I think he's been very good, other than lacking some of those power numbers. But yes, he needs to hit for more power. If this is who he is, Jim, and he ends up hitting 19 home runs, not 30, yeah, that's going to be a concern. But he hit 23 in 83 games last year from Philadelphia on, 23 and 83, and that was in the middle of June. So it's hard to discount it when you know you've seen it before.
Am I going to say that Manny's had a great start to the season? No, I'll say he's had a very good start to the season. And that's infinitely better than what he had last year, guys. I just read the numbers. At this exact time last year, he was hitting 217 with a 611 OPS, guys.
And it's not even close. That's 2 different players to where he is right now.
I mean, if you're saying that this version of Manny is laughable, then what's last year's version of Manny at this time?
DFA-able.
Right? Like, you're gonna DFA the guy? Now, we were ripping Manny a lot last year, and it was at one point not pretty. You know, it was not pretty, to the point where, like, he just blew up and turned it around. So this version of Manny is not laughable, guys. This is a good to very good version of Manny. It's just missing the power, and it's missing the home runs. And I know that's what people expect. Like, add 6'6".
Why are you muted? You're on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but go back to your mic.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I didn't do anything.
I'm like, I can't hear you. Continue where you were, because we couldn't hear you for the last 15 seconds.
I was saying last year's version of Manny was laughable. That like, for the first start of the year, that was awful. And this version of Manny is nowhere near that. This is a good to very good version of Manny. But if you just added 6 more homers to Manny's stats this year, people would be saying, what an amazing start for Manny, right?
True. But I mean, if you added 45s on both sides of me when I bench, I mean, it's kind of a lot of weight. 6 home runs, I mean, is a massive amount to add in 45 games.
Add 4.
I wish I could.
I'm just saying.
I'm with you, though. Here's the thing. This is why I'm not going to go all in on Manny, and which is what you're saying, because he's going to get there. Because it doesn't matter if he had 4 home runs right now, more. If he had 7 home runs right now, okay, we'd be quieter about his power. I just trust that at the end of the year, he's going to have 29 home runs. So it doesn't matter if he has 7 today or 3 today. I mean, in the here and now, it matters. But he hit 23 home runs last year.
I know.
In his last 83 games. So again, do I think he's hitting sub 20 home runs? No. I think that's kind of laughable. Is it possible? Maybe. I don't see it because I've watched this guy's entire career in a Padres uniform, and he tends to prove people wrong a lot. He'll have stretches where he proves people wrong. And arguably, he's had one of his better stretches in the Padres uniform these 40-plus games. He just hasn't done it with power.
Yeah. I much rather have this version of Manny than last year's early version of Manny. Like, no question about it.
Yep.
Like, his overall numbers look really good. And when you break it down, like we did tonight, it's the close late game situations that he just hasn't come through this year.
Yep. He's got to be better there. I'm fine with saying that he's going to have to hit for more power, and I hope they go to Toronto, Atlanta, and he hits 3 home runs in 6 games or comes through and helps win them a game or 2. We all want to see that, and they're going to need him to do that to continue to vie in this division and contend. I completely agree with that. Carlos, appreciate you, man. I think he's a Dodger fan. That's Dodger Stadium. Could be worse. Talking about the Dodgers, got swept by the Angels, LOL. It's a shame
Yes,
Dodgers
you did.
haven't played yet. Yeah, I mean, I do wonder what, I wonder what Dodger fans are saying about their start to the year. Yes, they're in first place, and yes, they're 29-18, which is good. But they've been very similar to both the Padres and the Giants. They've got a historical roster in terms of payroll. So, again, we're so focused, and I love that. That's the whole purpose of the show. We're talking about the Padres. We're not talking about the Phillies, by and large, or even the Dodgers, although we'll talk about it a lot when they play 13 times this year. But, I mean, look up and down, Jim. I'm just looking around baseball, and, Seattle's got one of the best records in the sport right now, like in all of baseball. I mean, so I don't know. I'm sure there's Dodger fans that are upset with the way their team has played. I'm sure there's Braves fans that are upset with the way the team has played, although they've played better. I don't know what to say about it other than it's a long year.
I think, again, I'm so hyper-focused on the Padres. Like, I'm not spending my time really worrying about the Dodgers too much. But I can tell you what, I bet if you ask the Dodgers, they would love to swap, injuries to their pitching staff with the Padres. Like, in a second. I mean, Blake Snell, he's 60-day IL. Like, you might not see him this year. Right. He's flaky. He's always injured. There's always something going on with Blake Snell. The second he signed that contract with the Dodgers, it just didn't feel like that was going to work out. Same thing with Tyler Glass now. He's always injured. He's made of glass. And I don't know. I mean, Kershaw, are you kidding me? Kershaw? No. Kershaw needs to eat a couple salads. Like, you got a little muffin top going on there. I mean, are they expecting to rely on Shohei Ohtani this year to be like this, Cy Young pitcher? Like, they got one good pitcher on their staff right now, and that's Yoshinobu Yamamoto. If I'm not mistaken, that's the only guy that's actually like worth a damn in their rotation, and everyone else is injured. So I look, the Dodgers are going to by default win 90+ games because of their offense. I mean, their offense is insane. Their offense is incredible. Ohtani, Betts, Will Smith, Freddie Freeman, the top 4 in their lineup, John. Listen to these numbers. Ohtani's hitting .313. He's incredible. Okay. He's got, 16 home runs on the year, leads baseball. Mookie Betts is Mookie Betts. Even though
Ohtani has how many home runs?
16. I know. Betts is Betts. I know he's only hitting 257, but still Mookie Betts. Will Smith and Freddie Freeman are kind of like, I feel like under the radar, having 2 of the best seasons in baseball. Will Smith as a catcher, John, is hitting .339.
Isn't Freeman hitting like 350 plus?
Freeman's hitting .371.
Yeah.
He now leads baseball in batting average because he has enough at bats to qualify him.
Yep.
So yeah, I their offense alone is going to carry them while their pitching is just all injured.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I bet you if you asked them what pitching staff would you rather have right now, the Dodgers pitching staff or the Padres, I bet you a lot of money they'd pick the Padres.
Which, by the way, may be the saving grace of San Diego when they take on a team as good as LA. Like, if you have legit starting pitching, and we'll see if they do or not moving forward. King allowed 4 runs for the first time all year. That was today. Pavetta was really good yesterday. We'll see Cease in Toronto. Hopefully, we'll see. I don't know what the deal with Yu Darvish is. I didn't do a full deep dive on it, but he's not pitching in Toronto, but he's not making another rehab start. So what's he doing? So I don't know what they're doing with Yu Darvish, if they're waiting to the Atlanta series. I don't know if there's a reason or a circumstance or 6-man rotation, or someone give me a reason, put it in the chat. I don't know what the reason is, but he's going to be important as well because he's been good against the Dodgers. So they're going to need him. I want to get to the super chat. Guys, if you're here, subscribe. And if you're here, thank you for the supers. Click the $ below the chat box. I just disagree with this. At this point, I disagree with it. JD's third says Manny is in decline. His defensive metrics and stats are showing his decline. They've never been good, by the way. Hence the fact that he doesn't often win those awards. The decline is evident. Extension isn't aging well. It is what it is. Is the extension not aging well to this point for Manny Machado? That to me is a reach, isn't it?
Are we talking about Xander Bogaerts or Manny Machado?
Yeah, well, that wasn't an extension, but yeah, I agree.
Aging. Now, the only way you can say that the contract isn't aging well is at the end of this year, he ends up with like 15 home runs. And then next year he ends up with like 16. 12. Yeah. Like
exactly.
Then we got problems, but until he shows that he is not going to hit 26 plus bombs for this team consistently, which he has shown, by the way, it's not 26, it's actually 28.
28 or more.
Yep. He's never had less than 28 home runs in a Padres uniform. So then how could you say he's on the decline?
I mean, defensively, I still think he's pretty damn good, and I know some of the metrics don't support it. I see Baseball Savant as well. I know some of the metrics don't support it.
Right.
I think he's a very good defensive third baseman. Do they get him off his feet a little more today than they would have when he was in Baltimore 10 years ago? Yeah, they should. They should be doing that. And they did it today. They're giving him back-to-back off days, basically, from playing the field today, and then they're off on Monday. So, I get it. He's also not a kid. The fact that he's producing like this, I think is impressive. Yes, he needs to hit for power, but he plays a good enough third base. In fact, it's better than good enough. He plays a very good third base, and he's hit the ball well, other than the power, to start the year, is what I would say. So I think that's probably a reach based on, an 0 series, which is awful, but a bad contract that isn't aging well. I haven't really seen it based on what's happened so far this year. Just haven't.
Does he make all the plays he made 10 years ago? No, but he still can go out there and pick it with the best of them. And by the way, he is the best of he is one of the best of them. Yeah, look, I'm not going to ever criticize his defense. I'm just not.
Yeah, it's like that's the last thing anyone's gonna be like, man, if Manny was just a better defender, this team would have another 2 wins. Nobody's ever said that. Guys, we do want to remind you about our friends over at SeatGeek, and they have hooked you up just for watching the wrap-up show. You're going to get $20 off your first order of $50 or more. All you have to do is use code PODSWRAP. Click the link in the description down below. That's PADSWRAP. $20 off tickets at SeatGeek, your first order of $50 or more. $20 off your first purchase with promo code PADSWRAP. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. We do want to thank our friends at SeatGeek. And speaking of the Dodgers, here are tickets for Monday, June 9th at Petco Park. Get them while they're available now because the prices are only going to go up. This is with fees. You get in for $87 a ticket with fees, plus take $20 off with promo code PODSWRAP. That's PADSWRAP. That's coming up in just a couple of weeks. Padres, Dodgers at Petco beginning June 9th. You can grab those tickets right now at SeatGeek.
Well, the Dodgers and Padres both suck now, so
True.
yeah,
It'd be free.
buy tickets. Buy tickets while you can. Just a reminder, SeatGeek, it's MLB's official ticket marketplace, so your tickets are fully guaranteed and instantly fulfilled in your account after purchase. Just use our promo code PODSWRAP, PADSWRAP. It's on the screen there to get $20 off your tickets at SeatGeek of $50 or more, and enjoy the games on us.
All right, so back to it involving the Padres. So do you have anything on Darvish? Does it has to do with just the turn of the rotation potentially, or sticking with 6 because he pitched?
Do I? Am
I mean,
Mr.
I'm just saying,
Insider now?
did you read anything or hear anything from Schill? I'm not saying like, did you talk to like Mike Schill? I'm saying, did you hear or read or see or because I figured if he made a rehab start, what day? What day last week did he pitch? Was it Tuesday?
It was
What day
maybe.
did he pitch, guys? Does anyone remember?
It was either, was it Tuesday or Wednesday?
Yeah, because it's been a few days, right? I mean, it's the beginning of the week. We were on the air. One Cav Scout says 8
middle
days.
of the week, I want to say.
It wasn't 8 days ago, but yeah. Let's say it was Wednesday. Someone tell us when it was. Because I want to do the math on it. Because does it make sense to you if he pitched Wednesday that they wouldn't pitch him until next weekend and he'd have like 10 days off between starts?
Let me just look this up. So I got it right here. Mike Schilt confirms Yu Darvish will not be pitching in Toronto. What I can tell you is he's going to continue to work on throwing and getting some other things taken care of, and he will not be pitching in Toronto.
What are other things taken care of? Is that like you got to go to the post office and send off like that, like, you're selling your cards or something? Like, it's interesting to me, and I don't know the exact date. You're going to find out. But if he pitched Wednesday and they're in Toronto Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, that's Wednesday to Wednesday is 7 days. Wednesday to Thursday is 8 days. And then in Atlanta would be 9 days if it's Friday or more if it's beyond Friday. It just, to me, is a little interesting that you make a rehab start and then you wait 9 days to make your next start.
I don't know, man. They'll never tell us anything. It's just such a fluky. Again, this is how I view injuries and rehabs with the Padres. When they're back out there, that's when they're back. Like there is never a concrete timeline with any player on this team. They could say it's Tuesday and it ends up being Friday.
Right. I'm just hoping it's nothing of that. Just is weird to me. Having followed the sport as long as we have, I don't recall ramp ups that like you finish a rehab outing and they're like, oh, we'll pitch you in 9 days, which is what we're saying, If he doesn't pitch until next Friday in Atlanta, that's 9 days between starts, which is like unheard of. I'm just telling you, I've followed the sport for as long as we have. I've never heard of that. Maybe it works perfectly for Yu Darvish, who's 39. Maybe he knows his arm and body, and the Padres have it all figured out. I hope they do, because it's getting to the point of like, it's a little uneasy because it's been a while since we've seen Darvish, and if we don't see him until next Friday, I mean,
I know.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like it's been a while.
I don't know.
It's weird. Stay tuned. Richard, thanks, man, for your support of the channel. He says, just waiting for Glass now to go on the IL for dandruff. We'll be in San Diego in August for the Evil Empire series. Any chance I can meet up and buy you a beer? It's very kind.
Thank you, Richard. If we are at the games, absolutely.
We actually might, right? Be at a game or two against the Dodgers downtown. Maybe
we might. Yeah, there might be something going on.
We'll keep you updated, Richard. We appreciate you saying that and asking about it. Very kind.
Thank you for the super, Richard.
By the way, I'm thinking about this series, and it's like, think about the Mariners that like they haven't seen or like are on the IL, talking about pitchers that are injured, because we talked to Aaron Goldsmith, who calls their games, like Logan Gilbert out, right? George Kirby out. Their Bryce Miller is out.
Bryce Miller.
And what's that?
Bryce Miller
is out. So like, you didn't take, and by the way, they came in off a 1-5 homestand. Maybe that speaks to the stupid saying of it's baseball, because they went 1-5 against the Blue Jays and the Yankees. Then they came here and won 3 straight games. But I guess my point is, like, you didn't take on this Seattle team that was playing terrific coming in. You didn't see their top flight stars, although Brian Wu has been terrific. If you look at his numbers, including today, he has been absolutely terrific this year. There's no excuse. I mean, at the end of the day, there's no excuse to get swept at home by really anyone, truthfully. And you can't be getting swept at home by Seattle, even if they're having a good year. So you're gonna have to get some of those games back because it's not a good weekend. Simple as that.
And when this team has gotten swept this year at home, they look like they've never played baseball before. I mean, they look awful. It's not like they lose a game to get swept on a Sunday, like, 6-5 or something, where they like hit 2 home runs and they're like 4 for 5 with runners in scoring position or whatever the case may be. Like, they're getting their shit kicked in and they look like they don't know how to play baseball. Like, it's just like I said, when they go on a cold stretch, it lasts for the entire series. Like, it doesn't feel like if they lose the first 2 games and they get shut out in one of them, that they're gonna, that Sunday or the final game of the series, they're going to score 7 runs. Like, no, that lasts the entire series with them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking back to, was it like today in the 8th inning, all right? So it's 4-1, right? It's 4-1 in the 8th inning. All right, they're down 4-1. You're not in great shape. 8 and 9 get on. Okay, it's first and second, nobody out for Fernando Tatis Jr. He grounds into a double play. And then Arias flies out with a runner at third. It's like, again, that speaks to their RISP issues for the weekend. They had chances, even today, even as late as the 8th inning. You got Fernando Tatis Jr. up there. He's already homered the game. First and second, nobody out. You have to do damage. You have to score. Theoretically, you got to get multiple runs on the board there. And they just, maybe it is, to your point, they were pressing. They were aware. It was just, it was really, really ugly is what it was. And hopefully you give yourself opportunities like that and you have another 20 at bats with men in scoring position in Toronto or more, and they come through, because I think it actually might have been it might have been Fadden. I'm going to give Fadden credit.
Who?
I mean, you know him, what's his first name?
Is it
Mark? I'm going to give him credit because like that, I think he might have said Saturday is like, that looked like 2023 Padres.
Yeah.
Which is true, because in 2023, they had so many opportunities. They just failed to cash in on those. And that wasn't the case in 2024 and hasn't necessarily. I don't know what they've hit with men in scoring position this year, including the series. I'd love to know.
I bet they're in the middle of the pack, to be honest with you.
Yeah, especially after this 0 for 21. It can't be top 10. I don't know if it's bottom 10. HBBBV, thank you. It says Schilt better take off his glasses and yell at the team. Did you hear any Schilty this weekend?
I did today.
Me too.
I want you to guess what he said today, or you heard today.
I watched today. But I know you. Oh yeah, I'm not going to alibi it.
Yep.
And he also, I watched it. Wait, don't tell me. Oh yeah, sometimes you got to tip your cap to like the other team for the whole series, though. It's a lot of tipping.
A lot of tipping. He tipped his cap. He's not concerned about anything, John.
I mean, that's probably underselling it. Let's be honest. You know what I mean? Like, not be concerned about anything. I don't think you should be concerned about everything, but to be concerned about nothing based on what we've seen here, like you said, 13 and 15 over 28. I think there's a reason to be concerned about something, truthfully, if you're Mike Schill. Guys, make sure to pick up a MOVA Globe. And when you do it, make sure to use promo code PWS10 and get 10% off. PWS10 and get 10% off these bad boys. They're officially licensed, all 30 major league teams. They also have the other globes, for example, that you see on the screen. They have so many of these globes, but these are officially licensed through Major League Baseball. This company is based in San Diego. This technology of spinning globes with artificial or natural light was invented in North County in Cardiff by the Sea. So these are great products. Great gift idea for the baseball fan in your life, whether they're a Padres fan or a fan of any team in Major League Baseball. Click that link in the description down below. Use promo code PWS10. That's PWS10 and get 10% off your next MOVA Globe order.
Yeah, get a MOVA Globe today for a bookshelf, a nightstand, work desk, your work desk at work. Get one today. Use our promo code PWS10.
No batteries, no cords,
nothing,
no wires.
No.
This thing's just, existing, like in the ether. Look on my hand, guys. Look at it.
It's existing, John. It's
Like
existing.
it's not like a remote control car.
No.
It just goes
just
automatically.
Just does its thing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And by pretty cool, it's really cool. So
I'm trying to find their average with runners in scoring position this year, but
oops. Yeah, where do you go to find that?
Probably just MLB.com.
I don't know where MLB expanded stats, maybe. I'm curious. I'm not overly curious.
Hold on.
I think it's under if you click. I've stumbled into it, but I'm not right now.
I'm looking here. Here we go. Oh, wait. No, that's not it.
Select a split. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Give it to me. Hold on. I'm finding it. RISP.
Okay.
Here it is. Did you find it?
No, you got it. What do you got?
I don't know.
You didn't find it? I thought you found it.
Well, I found 2025 regular season MLB year-to-date scoring position. Update, damn it.
Update.
You heard me. I want it.
Up a date. Up a date.
Here we go. I got it. It's like the most drama ever. Okay. Runners in scoring position. Let's go to OPS, and then we'll go to average. Runners in scoring position. Padres OPS is 18th in baseball, 708. Okay. Their average with the runners in scoring position this year is 7th in baseball, 265.
Okay, so really good.
Yep, it's been good. Number one is the Dodgers, 306.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's crazy. But they've hit 265. Of course, they led baseball in batting average for a lot of the, first 20 or 30 days of the season.
They did.
Overall, the Padres.
They did.
So they've been fine. I mean, they've probably been better than fine.
Yeah.
But, somewhere in there. They've been good in terms of batting average overall. OPS was 18th, so they haven't really hit for power, but we know that.
Yeah, they just have no power other than Tatis.
Right, exactly. I mean, are we believing in Gavin Sheets' power? Like, are you counting on him to 30 home runs? I'm not.
I'm believing in. I'm 15.
Yes, 15, which is a career high. 16, which is a good year, probably platooning. How many is Merrill going to hit? Well, by the way, the Merrill thing is a blister, which hopefully is not a big deal.
How do you get a blister there, John? I'll tell you how. Either you're doing some weight training and you are just pissed, like you're just, that's where you get the calluses at, or you're taking some like 5,000 hacks in the cage to give you some blisters there without any batting gloves on.
Maybe. Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, because remember, he was quoted, I read Kevin or Jeff Sanders tonight. He wasn't making an excuse, but he was like, I missed that game in Colorado because I was sick. And then I came back on adrenaline and had like some big game. And he's like, for a couple of days, I didn't feel like myself. I was just playing. And now he's got this blister, and I think he's pressing. I don't know. Is this like the first slump of his career? I don't think it's the first of his career.
To this level?
It might be. It might be to this extent. It might be.
I think it might be.
So where is he? Like, what's the low of the low here? What is he like? I'm making it up, like one for his last 16, 18, something like that.
Well, John, glad you asked.
And I'll find his 2024 game log.
Yeah, I think this might be his worst slump. Jesus, swallow louder. You can't.
No, he listen to this from April 24th through May 1st last year. He was 0 for 19 in 6 games.
Okay, so this is not the worst. Yeah. Like not even close.
He did that last April.
What's 4 times 4, John? 16. So he is 1 for his last 19.
So it's basically what he did.
Basically
that
the
same thing. And then he had another stretch in May where he did something similar, and then he really got going last year.
Yep,
I mean, do you have any pause or concern based on the way he's played? Seriously, not like how could they sign him to a 9-year deal? I'm just saying, like, is there any concern with what we're seeing right now?
No, why should there be?
Because he sucks. I was kidding.
The only thing that I'm not, it's not a concern. It's more just like, I hope this doesn't happen, just because he lives and breathes and just everything in life he does revolves around baseball for him. And he takes these offers home with him. Like, it. Manny, he can turn the page very easy. Mm-hmm. Now it does, Manny, obviously it affected him last year, but like, Manny's a pro. He's a vet. He's had slumps before. He knows.
Right.
Merrill is still young, and he hasn't had many slumps. So when you're dealing with something with for the first time, like, how do you, deal with it and combat it and overcome it? And I just feel like, today, it was either today or was it last night? It might have been last night. I forget when. He struck out, I think, with the bases loaded.
That was last night.
Oh,
with that pitch that was up by his eyes.
Yeah, and he just fucking yelled out the biggest motherfucker on the planet. And I'm like,
that was a huge spot, by the way.
It was. And you're like, okay, it feels like the slumps, it gets to him a little bit. I mean, why wouldn't it? I mean, this guy is like Mr. Baseball. So it affects him more than it affects other players because he wants to be great all the time. And I think that's something he's learning to deal with in real time.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's accurate. And there's something about getting out of the gates the way he got out of the gates that is like so. The positive is, oh my gosh, I'm hitting 467 or whatever, and the negative is like it's not even possible to be anything like that player over the course of a year. Obviously, no one's ever done it, essentially. So, but man, he is really going the other way for the last handful of games.
Like the other night, I do like this attitude, but baseball is such a long season, and you can't be so down when your team just loses a game. And it was a game that he was incredible in, and he didn't want to talk about it. He's like, I'm not talking about myself. Like, I'm not. I like that about him. I love. It's a great quality to have. But like,
oh yeah, what day was that?
It was
that the Angels loss?
Yeah, it was last Monday, and he had a great game. The catch, right? Yeah, everything. That was the night I broke Jackson Merrill. But ever since then, he's been awful. And that was the night in the clubhouse. He's like, I don't fucking care what I did. We lost the game. All I care about is winning and blah, blah. It's like, whoa, dude, calm down. I get it. You care. All you care about is winning. It's great. It's awesome. But like, you can't just discredit what you did out there.
Should I bury the card until he does something? Should I go put it in the sand?
No, what you need to do is you need to buy a couple candles. We need to have a prayer circle, and we need to have the
I have candles.
We need to
do you want me to get them right now?
Do an exorcism on the demons in that card.
At 1 for 19? Should we do that?
Yeah, it's Jackson Merrill. You know this guy. If he goes 0 for his next 8, he might
fight the card.
Jackson Merrill might fight somebody if he goes 0 for his next 8.
Should we do it and see if it turns him around?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, hold on.
By the way, John, he inspired me to go dig up all my Pokemon cards.
Did I really?
Yeah. Because you're like Mr. Card Collector now. And I got, look at this, everybody. What's up? Charizard. How you doing?
Is that is that 10 grade, dude?
Well, here's the thing. I want to get it graded. Okay. I think I'm going to get it graded.
Go to the card show with me this weekend. You probably can get it graded.
Oh, okay. Hey, Aaron. I can't go to Hawaii. I'm going to the card show instead.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want two things. So this is the card. No, we didn't forget your super HBBV. You having
Calm
Jim do
down,
it.
dude. Chill the
We'll
fuck
get to them
out.
all. We'll get to them
Jeez.
all. Okay, this is the card. Well, I have one other thing I need to show you because here's my question. This is a serious question. All right, so I have this authenticated baseball for my 16th birthday that my best friend got me. But here's the problem. Here's the problem. Okay, anyone want to take a guess at what this is?
What is it? I'm not even looking.
Oh, I've told you, but you won't even know. The good news is it's a fucking Mickey Mantle $1,500 baseball. The bad news is the baseball looks like this.
Is it authenticated?
It is. It's got this sticker on it.
Okay, what does it say?
I mean, this is a flat out Mickey Mantle signature. If you've ever seen Mickey Mantle signature, there ain't no faking that. And it's authenticated by Upper Deck.
Okay, so you're good.
But if this thing is shot, look at the ball.
Doesn't matter. No. Here's the thing. The ball does not matter. It's about the signature.
Well, not me solo says PSA 10's 3,500. This is PSA like 2. Oh, maybe he's talking about your card.
My card?
But I would move this thing to start my card collection is my point. Or would you hold the Mickey Mantle?
Hold it. What are you talking about?
What am I going to do with it? I'd rather go get like...
I have a... my dad gave me a signed Willie Mays. That's authenticated. He gave me a signed Reggie Jackson.
Okay.
A signed Nolan Ryan.
Okay.
You just hold it. You just hold it. All right, we're doing it. All right. Light the candle.
I don't think this thing works. How does it work?
Should I get my candle too and light it? You press the button, dude.
Nice.
Oh, hold on. Let me get a candle too. Hold on. Stand by.
Okay. Candle's lit, folks. You can say. Candle's lit. All right. Candle's on. I don't know what I'm doing with the candle. I'm not going to burn the card. Yeah, thank you, Richard. What is Jim talking about? The condition of the ball is going to matter. That's why I don't think this ball is worth more than like a few $100s, would be my guess.
Okay. But here's the thing. Mickey Mantle, dude, this is whatever. All right.
I know. It's freaking Mickey Mantle. If I had like his 1952 card, we'd be in Hawaii.
All right. Did you light your candle?
Yeah.
All right, I got a candle too.
This is this is Sweet Pony or something. I don't know.
Mine's vanilla bean caramel biscotti.
That smells amazing.
Delicious. I want to like eat
what
it.
Are we gonna now? What are we doing? What are we doing?
I looked up 3 prayers of an exorcist that can drive out evil.
I don't know if it sounds a little intense.
No, it's good. All right. So, here we go. Ready? Soul of Christ, sanctify Jackson Merrill. Body of Christ, save me. Blood of Christ, dude. Inebriate Jackson Merrill. Water from the side of Christ. Wash Jackson Merrill. Passion of Christ. Strengthen Jackson Merrill. Oh, good Jesus, hear me. With thy wounds, hide Jackson Merrill. Let me never be separated from thee, from the evil one. Deliver Jackson Merrill. At the hour of Jackson Merrill's death, call Jackson Merrill and bid him come to thee, that with thy saints I may praise thee forever and ever. Amen.
All right, that was a little bit too far for me.
I'm now scared. I am actually like legitimately scared. I gotta go outside tonight to like do my laundry after this. Like I'm scared.
Why did you what are you doing?
I don't
thought we were
know.
Lighting candles, man.
Hold your candle up, dude.
Can I blow it out now? Yeah, what are you talking about?
I almost lit myself on fire.
How?
I don't know. The power of Christ compels Jackson Merrill. The power of Christ compels Jackson Merrill.
Here's now the deal.
This streak. Lift this for streak.
If this streak continues, it's now entirely on Jim.
Did I just curse Jackson Merrill?
Oh my gosh. All right, that's going to be a good segue to Underdog Fantasy.
Very good.
Make sure. Oh God, hold on. Dude, look at your phone. Oh my gosh.
What happens when the Padres get swept and look like shit? We're doing
they lost 3 straight They lost 3 straight games at home.
Yeah.
Use promo code PODSWRAP and get a free gimme pick and a 50% deposit match over at Underdog. Promo code PODSWRAP. That's PADSWRAP. Obviously, Eastern and Western Conference Finals will kick off this week. Padres are playing in Toronto beginning on Tuesday, and it couldn't be simpler or easier to win. Just choose like Anthony Edwards higher than 27.5 points and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander higher than 1.5 3-pointers made. You can pair it with Major League Baseball games. Obviously, the Padres don't play tomorrow, but you could go with the Marlins or the Cubs or whatever. And all of a sudden, look at this. You go 4 for 4 there, folks. You go 4 for 4 there. And $10 pays $2,000.
Oh, must be nice.
$10 pays $2,000, which is worth more than this Mickey Mantle ball that has like a water log on it. So anyway, use the promo code PODSWRAP, PADSWRAP. Click that link in the description down below and sign up for Underdog.
Yep, and download the Underdog Fantasy app with the QR code right here. Use our promo code PODSWRAP when you download Underdog Fantasy. It's a prerequisite. When you do it, start winning some money today.
What did you just do, by the way?
I think I think I cursed my house. 2, I think I may have cursed Jackson Merrill. And Jesus Christ is in the chat watching. So, but look, if it works and Jackson Merrill goes out on Tuesday, has a 4 for 5 night, then we can look at the exorcism of the whatever demons that's in your Jackson Merrill card. And it's the turning point in Jackson Merrill's season.
My prayer is pray for Jim.
I was like doing some demon shit over here, bro.
I thought we were just lighting the candle to be like, hey, Jackson, like, be better.
It's kind of scares me because like an ember came off of my candle and like hit me in the hand, and it's like it burned my hand. Dude, I cursed myself. I cursed myself, bro.
I told you not. I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Like, stop.
Yeah, we should have done the Major League thing.
We did do the Major League thing.
I think we were. Yeah, maybe. I don't know what he did.
Now someone needs to buy fried chicken to sacrifice to Jobu.
All right, guys. Join us tomorrow, John and Jim, 2 p.m. Much more on the Padres as they get ready for the Blue Jays. Much more in this past weekend as they lose again, get swept by the Mariners in the Vetter Cup. Please support our partners, Mark Nimitz at Farmers Insurance.
It's gonna smell like shit.
Oh my gosh.
Dude,
I work with Jim every day. This is completely expected. This is exactly what I was expecting. Although I wasn't really expecting that.
Dude, yeah, I have to go outside after this in the dark to do laundry. I'm gonna get like fucking Final Destination.
Oh, that movie?
Yeah. Do you know what that movie's about?
It's like dying.
It's like one thing leads to another, like the smallest little thing, like a chain reaction, and all of a sudden you're like dead. It's like, oh, I tripped over, or like, oh, a piece of glass is outside, and I step on the piece of glass, and I like trip over my feet, and then like I hit my head on a wall, and then I like die from like I don't know.
We're not talking about this tomorrow on John and Jim, by the way. So don't bring that to the freaking
We're never
radio.
talking about this ever again. What stays in the wrap-up show stays in the wrap-up show tonight. We're never talking about this. What we did tonight? No, bro. The Crows. Oh my god. We talked to a neighbor today about it because they like saw it happen and like they helped Aaron. I guess the crow had like a broken leg. And they said
people
that
here don't even know what you're talking about. I don't think
they said there was like 100 crows above my house.
Oh, here's the way to get back on track.
Oh boy, I'm a demon.
I'm done with this show. I'm done. I'm so done. All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
If we're still around. It's been the wrap-up show.